Dear children, the previous session we discussed about the development of the male gametophyte. But now we are going to discuss about the development of female gametophyte. Since we are talking about flowering plants, you all know that the female gametophyte will be a structure present inside the female sex organ, and that is the pistil. Now, the flower which is having 4 whorls, calyx, corolla, and rostrum and gynoecium. Gynoecium is the whorl which contains the pistil, and the pistil, general pistil will be having 3 structures: stigma, style, and ovary. Inside the ovary will be present the ovarian cavity or the locule, and inside the ovarian cavity will be present the placenta. Now, the ovule is a structure which is attached to the placenta by a small stalk-like enlargement called funicle. Now, this funicle is showing a structure which is formed by the fusion of body of ovule and funicle called as hilum. So, the body of ovule which is fused with the funicle at the point is known as hilum, and this hilum is visible in a seed. When you see a bean seed and here you observe a scar, this scar is actually hilum. Now, a ovule in which will be the presence of the female gametophyte, that is embryo cell. It is protected by integument from all sides except at the end called micropyle, because it is through the micropyle that the entry of the pollen tube and the discharge of male gametes takes place. So, now today we are going to discuss the formation of the female gametocyte, which is the embryo sac, and to study that we must know what are the various types of arrangements of this ovary. Now, the ovary can have a single carpel known as monocarpellary, or it can have multiple carpels called as multicarpellary. Then there can be fusion of pistils, or the pistils can be free. When the pistils are fused together like this, they are called as syncarpous pistils. But when there is single pistil present, then it is known as a apocarpus, which is free. The pistils are free from each other, it is known as apocarpus, but when they are fused, it is known as a syncarpous pistils. Now we will discuss further about it. Now here you can see the location of the pistil, which is the innermost whorl and centrally placed, having stigma, a long structure called style, and at the base is present a swollen structure called as ovary. Inside the ovary is present the ovarian cavity or locule. Inside the locule is present the placenta, and on which there will be presence of ovule, because ovules are attached and the placenta is helping in the provision of the nourishment to the developing ovule and later on to the seeds, etc. Right? So here we can see that the stigma is the landing point for the pollen grains, and that is why depending upon the type of flower, the stigma can be feathery or it can be sticky so that the pollens can stay there. Then the long tube-like structure style through which the pollen tube travels, and the base is the ovary, so that the formation of embryo sac will ultimately take place inside the ovary only. Now further when we discuss about the development of the embryo sac, there the process of formation of the female gametophyte occurs through megasporogenesis. Megasporogenesis. We just discussed about the ovarian cavity. You can see the ovarian cavity, and in class 11 we discussed the types of placentation. So you can see the different types of placentations present here. That has already been discussed earlier. You can see this.
Within the locule, you will find ovules or megasporangia that are attached to the ovary wall in a region called the placenta. These ovules may be arranged in 3 central, axial, marginal, parietal, parietal or basal placentation. Moreover, after fertilization, the ovules form seeds while the ovary develops into a fruit. Did you know that different flowers of different plant species have a varying number of ovules in their ovaries? A peach, for instance, develops from an ovary containing a solitary ovule. A papaya, on the other hand, has several ovules in its ovary.
You must remember this example. That give example where there are many ovules or multicarpellary ovaries there, and where there is a single ovule or unicarpellary or monocarpellary ovaries.
And that's why you see numerous seeds in the fruit when it is split open. The ovule, considered by botanists as the forerunner of the seed, has an oval or egg-shaped body.
This is the shape of the ovule.
It remains attached to the placenta by a stalk called the funicle.
Now you can see, we discussed about funicle.
In fact,
this is the funicle. To
the
which
ovule
this
body
ovule
fuses with the
is.
funicle in a region called the hymen.
Now, funicle on which the ovule is raised, and at the base is present the placenta, and the fusion of ovule with the funicle is at hymen.
The ovule is well protected with one or two protective coverings called integuments.
Now, just discussed that the ovule is protected by protective coverings called integuments, but these are not covering the ovule at a point called micropyle, from where the pollen tube and the medium is to make an entry into the embryo.
These integuments later form the seed coat.
A seed has covering on it called as seed coat. The integuments later on become the seed coat.
The integuments cover the entire ovule except at the apex, where they form a narrow opening called the micropyle. Did you know that the micropylar end acts as an entry point for the pollen tube during the process of fertilization? While the micropyle forms one end of the ovule, the chalaza forms
The end opposite to the micropylar end is known as the chalizal end. You must remember which end is the chalizal end. The end opposite to micropylar is chalizal end. Right, children?
At the chalaza region, we find that the funicle and integuments join the nucellus, the center region of the ovule. That's
now you can see that embryo sac is here. This is the central part of the ovule, and here is present a special tissue called nucellus. So you can see the funicle is there, the integuments surrounding the ovule are there, and a special tissue called nucellus is present here. From here we develop the mother cell.
a mass of diploid, colorless, thin-walled, parenchymatous cells containing food reserve materials. In the nucellus of a mature ovule lies the embryo sac.
So you can see that nucellus is containing a dense cytoplasm, and it is a parenchymatous group of cells.
The female gametophyte.
Embryo sac is the female gametocyte which develops from the megaspore mother cell. Right, children?
This megaspore is formed when one of the nucellus cells, towards its micropylar end, gets differentiated into a megaspore mother cell.
Now, from the specialized tissue which is present in the ovule, there is a special tissue called nucellus, and inside the nucellus, one of the cells enlarges and becomes the mother cell called as megaspore mother cell, which will undergo meiosis to give rise to megaspores,
which can be easily distinguished from other cells due to its large size,
see the size is
dense
different.
cytoplasm, and prominent nucleus.
Since it is ready to undergo the process of meiosis, it is having a large size, dense cytoplasm and a prominent nucleus. Now this will undergo megasporogenesis.
The megaspore mother cell undergoes meiosis to form 4 megaspores which arrange themselves in a linear tetrad.
Now children, let's discuss this first here and then we can carry on with the video. Now, from the megaspore mother cell, which is a diploid cell, the process of meiosis takes place, and in most of the cases it is a linear tetrad. Tetrad means that it is meiosis forming a linear structure of this. This is known as megaspore tetrad. Remember we discussed about microspore tetrad also. Now this is megaspore tetrad, but in case of microspore tetrad, all the 4 cells or all the 4 microspores were developing into pollen grains. But here what happens, that 3 of the megaspores undergo degeneration. Of these, the 3 megaspores undergo degeneration and only 1 megaspore remains. Right? This single megaspore. Why there is degeneration of 3? Because the female makes maximum contribution for the development of the embryo. So 3 of the megaspores are degenerating and only 1 is staying. Now this single megaspore will now develop into embryo cell. This embryo cell is the female gametophyte. So now you see that in case of an ovule, the ovule is attached to the placenta. Then there is presence of a small structure called stalk-like structure called funicle, through which the ovule is attached to the placenta. Then there is fusion of the funiculus and the ovule at a point called hilum. The ovule is surrounded by protective layers called integuments. These integuments are covering the ovule, all the areas except for a small opening called micropyle. Through this micropyle, there will be entry of the pollen tube. There is presence of a specialized tissue called nucellus here, and from the nucellus, one of the cells differentiates to become megaspore mother cell. This megaspore mother cell is a twin cell. This undergoes meiosis, and most of the plants, not all, but most of the plants, it forms a linear tetrad. In this linear tetrad, the 3 megaspores will now degenerate because it is having 4 cells, and one of the megaspore will now develop to become a embryo sac, which is the female gametophyte. Now you see what happens, how this development occurs. Now this single megaspore having a single nucleus undergoes three successive mitotic divisions. But these divisions are only nuclear divisions. Can you see this? That the nuclei has divided into 2. The 2 nuclei move towards the 2 poles. There undergoes the second division, and these are all mitotic divisions because this is a haploid nucleus. So there are 3 successive nuclear divisions in the megaspore. There is movement of the nuclei and there is presence of 2, 4 and 8 nuclei at the end. Of these 8 nuclei, from this structure, which is the large cell having 8 nuclei, the differentiation of the differentiation of embryo cell will take place. Now how does it occur? There will be movement of the nuclei or rearrangement of nuclei in such a manner that 3 nuclei remain at each poles and 2 nuclei move towards the center. This kind of movement of nuclei takes place, and this is followed by, most of the cases, it can start earlier also, it is followed by cytokinesis. Cytokinesis is the formation of the cell walls. Cytoplasm is divided by the formation of cell walls, and now this structure will develop into a embryo cell, because that cell is there, but the differentiation of the cells to become specialized is yet to take place. From here we move further that how this differentiation is completed and how the formation of a embryo cell takes place. Now you can see cytokinesis is occurring, and this will lead to formation of 3 cells at one end, 3 cells at the other end, and 2 nuclei in the center. Now we will discuss about the structure of this embryo. This differentiated structure, we will discuss that how it is forming or what parts it is forming and what functions are performed by it. That is the embryo cell. Right children? We discuss about the embryo cell. Here we can see it can be an elongated or dotted structure, that is the pattern. Now, the cells, 3 cells are arranged at each end, but how these cells are actually arranged, that we have to see that how these cells are actually arranged. The 2 cells at the center are known as polar nuclei. The large cell which contains this polar nuclei is known as central cell. Right children? Central cell and the polar nuclei which is formed from the center one. Now next is the cells at the chaliceal end are known as antipodal cells, and the cells at the micropinal end, they form the egg apparatus. This egg apparatus consists of 2 types of cells. One cell is the egg cell, and the 2 cells which are surrounding, which are toward the 2 other sides, are known as synergids. Inside the synergids is present a special structure called as filiform apparatus, and this is the complete structure of an embryo cell or the female gametophyte. Now let us discuss how it has been formed. From a single megaspore, the division of the nuclei or only the nuclear division occurs. There are 3 successive mitotic nuclear divisions leading to the formation of a 8 nucleated cell. This cell is the central cell in which 3 nuclei arranged to the one end and 3 other nuclei arranged to the second end, and 2 nuclei move towards the center. When the process of cytokinesis occurs at the 2 ends, it forms 3 antipodal cells at the chaliceal end, 2 polar nuclei present in the large cell called as the central cell, and towards the micropinal end is the presence of egg apparatus. This egg apparatus consists of an egg cell and 2 synergids. Inside the synergids are present small structures called filiform apparatus. These assist in the entry of the polytube and the male gametes into the embryo cell. Now let us discuss this, see this, how it works.
This process
Now you can see from the tetrad, one of the cell remains and the 3 of them are degenerating. right? Of this, what happens? Only one is remaining, and this is going to develop to form the embryo cell. Now this single cell is left now. This is the megaspore, and this is going to develop into the embryo cell. This single cell, which is megaspore. Now you can see the nuclear division is taking place, and the nuclei are moving towards the two poles. Simultaneously, the second successive division has taken place, resulting in the formation of 4 nuclei, and then from this 4 nuclei embryo cell, 8 nucleated embryo cell is being formed. But here you can see that there is no arrangement as yet taken place. Now what will happen? Of these 4 nuclei at both the ends, one will move towards the center, and the 3 nuclei will show cytokinesis at the two poles. You can see that how this 2 nucleated, 4 nucleated and 8 nucleated embryo cell is being formed here. Right children? And this is a pre-nuclear mitotic division, that is only karyokinesis and no cytokinesis is taking place here. I hope this much is clear to you. Now you can see that how the arrangement of embryo cell is taking place, that I just showed you. That the cell wall, the outer one, it is the central cell. Now 2 nuclei have moved towards the center, forming the polar nuclei, which are in future going to help in the triple fusion. And 3 cells at one end and 3 cells at the other end. You can see this is the antipodal cell towards the cell end, and this is the egg apparatus. You can see this here, that polar nuclei, antipodals, synergids and the egg cell. And this structure is known as, these 3 cells together form the egg apparatus. This is the complete structure, and these are very important for the diagrams in the board exam. Right children? So you must practice these diagrams very well. So this was about the development of, this is about the development of the female gametophyte or the embryo cells. Now the question is, why female gametophyte is known as 7-celled 8-nucleated structure? You can see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cells with a single nuclei, and a 7th large central cell with 2 nuclei. So you can see there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 nuclei, and number of cells are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. That is why embryo cell or female gametophyte is known as a 7-cell 8-nucleated structure. I hope this is clear to all of you. Right children? Now we have already discussed the formation of male gametophyte and female gametophyte. That was the first step of pre-fertilization events, that is gametogenesis. Now children, these antipodal cells do not have any specified function in the plant or in the embryo cell, but synergids are existing in the entry of the male gametes. Egg cell is responsible for syngamy, and the polar nuclei are responsible for the triple fusion, which we will discuss later on. Now after this formation of male and female gametophyte, the next thing is, as we discussed about the formation of male gametophyte and female gametophyte, the male gametophyte is the pollen grain and the female gametophyte is the embryo cell. The next step for the pre-fertilization event is the pollen transfer of gamete, and in case of plants we call it as pollination. So what is pollination? Pollination is the transference of pollen to the stigma. Since it is a pre-fertilization event, it does not involve the fusion of gametes, that is part of fertilization. So pollen is getting transferred to stigma, that is known as pollination. Now pollination can be either self-pollination or it can be cross-pollination. Right? You all are aware of these terms, but then we study further in self-pollination that it can be in the same plant or it can be same plant but different flowers. So, self-pollination we call it as autogamy. Pollen and stigma of the same flower. Now, same plant but different flower, it is known as geitonogamy. Means the flowers are different, they may be needing a pollinating agent, but they are genetically similar. And last is cross-pollination, it is known as xenogamy, in which there are different plants involved. So, this for sure be needing a pollinating agent. Autogamy, depending upon the type of plant, it is having the same flower with male and female. Geitonogamy, same plant but different flowers. Geitonogamy can be seen in plants where the pistilate and staminate flowers are present. That is, male and female flowers are present on the same plant but at different positions. These may also need a pollinating agent. And in case of cross-pollination, definitely there is need for a pollinating agent. Now, when we talk about the process of self-pollination, there are certain plants which ensure self-pollination, and these plants are showing flowers which are having closed flowers. The flowers are closed. The closed flowers, they are known as cleistogamous flowers. Cleistogamous flowers which are closed flowers are cleistogamous, and there are certain plants which show some flowers as closed flowers or cleistogamous flowers and some flowers as chasmogamous or normal flowers. So these plants show two types of fertilization. One which is self-pollination in the closest manner because the flowers are closed and they ensure self-pollination, and some other flowers are chasmogamous or chasmogamous flowers which are like any other normal flowers. They may be needing a pollinating agent. They may not be self-pollinating. They may be showing the need for some pollinating agent. Now, what is the advantage of cleistogamous flowers? Cleistogamous flowers are closed flowers, so they ensure pollination, fertilization and formation of seed. Since there is no agent required, the male and female part both are enclosed, so they ensure that there will be a seed set. But in chasmogamous plants, since we discussed earlier also that the pollens may or may not remain viable, there may be others, that there will be lack of pollinating agents, so they may not ensure the formation of seeds. The advantage of cross-pollination over self-pollination is that cross-pollination, since different plants are involved, they help in genetic variability, and when there is genetic variability, the adaptability and the chances and the contribution in evolution also increases. So, we are discussing about the self-pollination and the cross-pollination.
It's placed within the same flower or between flowers of the same plant. It is known as self-pollination. In plants, self-pollination can occur either through autogamy or geitonogamy. In autogamy, pollen is transferred from the anther to the stigma of the same flower. And is seen in cleistogamous flowers or flowers which do not open at all, produced by plants such as viola, oxalis, camellia, and Arachis hypogaea.
Now, you must remember these examples. These are the examples of cleistogamous flowers. Means these flowers are closed flowers. They are self-pollinating always and they ensure the seed setting. You must remember these examples. These are very important examples. Right, children? So these are all cleistogamous flowers.
The anthers and stigma of these flowers lie very close to each other. When anthers dehydrate,
Near each other. So they ensure that the pollens are always falling on the stigma and they will always lead to the process of pollination, fertilization and
pollen
formation
grains
of
get
seeds.
deposited on the stigma, which ensures the production of seed sets even in the absence of pollinators.
Like in case of groundnut.
Autogamy, however, is rare in chasmogamous flowers, which open and expose their anthers and stigma.
Now, chasmogamous flowers, normal flowers which have exposed anther and stigma. So they are just as like the other normal
And it
flowers.
requires synchrony
Right,
between
children?
pollen release and stigma receptivity.
So these are both very important points.
In glycinogamy, the second type of self-pollination, pollen is transferred from the anther of one flower to
Now you can see that the pollinating agent is transferring pollen from one flower to another flower of the same plant. So genetically the plants are not showing any variability, but there is need for a pollinating agent here.
to the stigma of another flower of the same plant.
Now next is cross-pollination. In case of
To
cross-pollination,
the stigma of the flower of another plant of the same type.
this is cross-pollination. That is, there is pollen transferred from one plant to another flower stigma of another plant. So that is ensuring that there is genetic variability arising due to the transfer of pollen from one plant to another plant. Right, children? I hope this is clear to you that how pollination is taking place. Now, what are the various pollinating agents that are present? Pollinating agents can be of two types, abiotic and biotic. Abiotic is water and wind, and biotic can be different types of insects, birds, bats and some other animals can also act as pollinating agents. When the pollination is occurring through water, we call it as hydrophily. Hydro water, hydrophily. Wind is anemophily. So you must remember what features should be exhibited by a flower which is pollinated by an abiotic agent, that is water or wind. And biotic agents, insects, birds, bats and animals, all these will be helping in pollination if they are rewarded with something. If there is reward, and the reward is always in the form of either nectar or in the form of pollen grains. So when we talk about the various features that are responsible, that should be present in these flowers for ensuring the pollination, there should be presence of various important features in these plants. Now, when we talk about pollination by wind pollinated plants, wind pollinated means there should be presence of number one, lightweight pollen grains, number two, very large number of pollen grains, number three, their flowers they can be inconspicuous, small size because they don't have to attract any agent. Then the stigma should be either sticky in the form of having a protective sticky covering, or it should be feathery, and the stigma must always be exposed. Then lightweight pollens will ensure that they can travel with the wind to long distances and they can be carried easily. In case of water pollinated flowers, again the flowers can be colorless, inconspicuous, small size, but their pollen must have a mucilage covering. Why? Because they are being pollinated by water. Water can destroy the pollen, so they must have a covering of mucilage in them. So these are the features that should be present in the flowers and the plant or the flower which are showing hydrophily or anemophily as the mode of pollination. But in case of the plants or flowers that are showing biotic agents as their pollinating agents, insects, birds, bats and other animals, insects and birds, they are attracted towards the color, the fragrance. So flowers must be large sized, brightly colored, fragrant, and must provide the reward in the form of either nectar or pollen grains. Now, insects and birds, since they are the diurnal animals, that is, they are active during the daytime, so they are able to see the colors. But when we talk about bats, bats are active during night and they don't have vision. So those flowers which are pollinated by bats must be blooming at night. They can be fragrant, they must provide with pollen grains or nectar so that the bats visit them. But they should be night blooming, because day blooming flowers cannot be pollinated by bats as they are active only at night. Now other animals, they are also playing an important role, because when they rub against the flowers, when they move through some pastoral area, then they are sticking off pollen grains there onto the body, and when they reach the other areas, then they are assisting in the process of pollination. So pollination is very, very important. Either it is done through an abiotic agent or through a biotic agent, but it is always helping in the transference of pollen, and to some extent this process is progressing the process of pollen transfer towards the process of fertilization. I hope this is clear to all of you children, that how the insects are visiting and they are helping in the process of pollination. Right? You can see that the flowers are brightly colored and they are providing them with the nectar also. Such flowers are either solitary or they can be present in the form of an inflorescence, so that maximum transference of pollen grains can take place from here. So when the insect is visiting from one plant to another plant, it is transferring the pollen, and the plants in turn are giving them pollen and nectar in return. Only then they will be visiting, otherwise this will not be possible for them. So these are an important source for the genetic variability. You can all see that they are helping in bringing about genetic variability. Now, there is another example, that in case of flowers which are pollinated by birds, an additional feature is required, that the flowers are mostly tubular, so that their beaks can enter inside and they can lead to the easy sucking of nectar by the birds. Like hummingbirds, they are dependent on nectar and they act as a very good pollinating agent. Now these plants, these flowers have very good relationship with some of the insects. Like in case of yucca plant, it is always pollinated by a moth. The two are having a relationship that they cannot survive without each other, because the moth is helping in the transfer of pollen grain, and the moth is laying its egg inside the yucca plant, and as the seed starts growing, the larvae come out, so they do not cause any damage also to the plant. So these are the important relationships which these plants are showing. These plants are showing so that they ensure that they are always very well pollinated by them. So you can see that there are different types of relationships that are being observed by such flowers. Now when we look another example of water pollinated plant, we can see that there are certain plants which are under submerged water, Velisneria, Hydrilla and Zostera. There are many other aquatic plants also, but their flowers are exposed onto the surface and they are being pollinated either by wind, or they are pollinated by any of the biotic agents like insects or birds, etc. But the plants which are having their flowers, the plants are submerged and the flowers are submerged inside water. In these cases, they are showing their release of pollen grains within water, so that it can easily be reaching to the pollen grain, but these pollen grains are easily reaching to the stigma and are ensuring the process of transference. Now, when we discuss about a special type of pollination observed in case of Velisneria, we will find that in case of Velisneria, the plant is submerged underwater. You can see the plants are coiled. You can see the flowers are coiled. Male female flowers, you can see that these flowers are coiled, and since they are underwater, how do they ensure pollination? When the pollen grains are mature, the pollen grains or the flowers are released from the plant and they move onto the surface of water. When they move onto the surface of water, the female flower also reach the surface and they come in contact with the male flower or the pollen grain. As soon as the pollination takes place, the female flowers recoil and get submerged again inside. Okay, see this? That's
The
how this
male
process takes
on the other
place.
hand, remains submerged in water.
See, these are the
Where it
male,
produces
these
several
are
tiny flowering buds.
submerged inside the water only. And the female flowers are, you can see they are white. See,
The buds rise to the water's surface and open up to expose the anthers. Pollen released from the anthers is carried by water currents, where some of them eventually come in contact with the stigma.
large number of pollen grains are needed because every pollen will not be reaching the stigma. So, large number of pollen grains are required by all those which are to be pollinated through agents.
In the case of Zostera, a dioecious seagrass,
Zostera is a green seagrass. You must remember this example for a 1 marker question.
the male and female flowers remain submerged in water.
Here both are submerged in water. Right, children?
The male flowers produce long and ribbon-like pollen grains which have a mucilaginous coloring that protects them from getting wet.
Now you can see the adaptation by these. In case of Zostera, the ribbon-like pollen grains are released and they are protected by a mucilage film. So that when they reach the female part, they are able to stick to it and are not destroyed by it.
Water is carried by water currents towards the submerged stigma, and thus pollination is completed.
So this is, you can see how the pollination occurs in case of Zostera. So these are specified examples which you must remember for different types of flowers. Now you see here, when I said that all water plants are not water pollinated, you can see that their flowers are exposed above the surface, so they are pollinated by various other agents. So it is not sure, it is not always there that all the flowers which are present, the plants which are present in water will be pollinated by water only.
Also called anemophily,
Now,
then water pollination.
hydrophily, water pollination, anemophily, wind pollination. Right, children? So you can see how this process is taking place. These are specific examples.
Also,
Now you must remember the wind pollinated plants. That what are the various examples of wind pollinated plants? These are all multiple marker questions.
such as grass, bamboo, coconut, and maize.
And as I told you earlier that bamboo flowers only once in its life. It can be 40 years, 50 years or so, depending upon the species of bamboo we are referring to. Right, children? So these are the various important features. Now this you can identify, it is a cork, and you can see these are the exposed stigma. These stigma are exposed so that the wind can easily drop the pollens onto them and it can lead to the process of fertilization. So you can see the adaptation which has been observed here in case of wind pollinated plant, that they have the exposed stigma, and in case of corn we call them as tassel. They are silky outgrowths which are going out of the cork and are
These
leading to
plants
the
possess a
process
compact
of
inflorescence
catching the pollen grains.
with well-exposed stamens that allow easy dispersal of pollen.
Now you can see exposed stamens for easy dispersal, exposed stigma for easy receptivity. So this is the adaptation of a wind pollinated flower.
And a large feathery pistil which makes it easy to trap pollen.
These are the features you must remember for a 2 marker or a 3 marker question.
The pollen, which is light and non-sticky, is produced in large quantities.
Then you can see large
A single flower of cannabis, for instance, produces 5 black pollen grains.
You must remember that give one example of a flower which produces a very large number of pollen grains. It is cannabis flower. This is almost 5
To
lakh pollen
compensate the
grains.
loss of pollen associated with wind pollination.
So, today we studied what is pollination, what are its types, what are the various pollinating agents, what are their various modes of pollination, submodes, and what are the names given, what features should be observed by the flowers of these plants to ensure pollination, which will ultimately lead to fertilization. So that's all for the topic of pollination. Thank you.